Hey you guys, it's Jen at Jen's Haunts, and the gang is all here. My second vintage Halloween trick-or-treat bucket is done. So I wanted to take an opportunity to show you a good look at this pumpkin and then give you a better idea of how I got here. I think I'll throw in a little how-to. That way, if anyone is interested in making a vintage Halloween trick-or-treat bucket, you'll know how I did mine. And the same goes for my Crackle Jack. I did a how-to on him as well, if you want to make him or his sidekick. And people really liked the crackle paint on Jack. So I show you how to do all that in that how-to video, which is up. So let's take a good look at my latest pumpkin. So I was trying to copy this bucket that I saw in a window at Disneyland. So this is my interpretation of that. And I think he turned out pretty good. I like the facial lines. I think they turned out okay. And it does have a couple layers of paint, and I did some highlighting and low lighting to try to accent his features. Here is the back. Nothing too exciting there, but I did do a little highlighting and low lighting just for a little something to look at there. All right, you guys, so you know how I do my little tutorials. I take pictures as I go, and then I share with you how I created my little projects. So let's go to my computer and I'll show you what I did. Okay, so here's what I started with. Really just a piece of cardboard, which thicker is better. This turned up a little bit on me, but it was fine. But something like this is probably better. Something a little thicker. You're going to add that to your base and then start putting your paper around your base and the ball. You're going to need to fill in the space, this gap here. You could always just wad newspaper up, put it in there if you wanted to, or I've also seen people use foil. That works fine too. So here it is, this gap. I didn't have to fill because I went the paper that way and it kind of did it for me. Once you start layering it, it'll hold itself. So here's another picture of that. This tape and this bottom in here, once you get all your paper and your balloon out at the end, you're going to need to paper mache the inside just to make that a little more supportive. So here it is with the clay. So this clay, you guys, you get this paper mache on here, and you're going to need to at least do, I would say, 3 to 5 layers. And then you're going to need to really let it thoroughly dry. You're going to put the clay on with water and Elmer's glue. So in general, you're going to be using the same mixture you use for your paper mache, but you're going to need to give it a little something to stick to. So let's talk about the clay. I'm going to give you my clay recipe. I tried to make it as flexible as possible. I want it as smooth as possible. So my clay is, you put a whole roll of Costco toilet paper in boiling hot water for 10 minutes. Okay, then you're going to have to drain it. You're going to have to get all the water out of it, and you're going to have to separate it into tiny little balls. Not necessarily balls, but just tear it apart. Some people use a mixer afterwards. Go through it with a mixer. Try to break it up as much as possible, because if you have any little balls left or any little hard pieces of toilet paper, it's going to end up in your clay and it's going to be a bump. So it's better to get rid of it right now. So my mixture is 1.5 cups of joint compound, 1.5 cups of Elmer's glue, 1 cup of flour, and 5 teaspoons of salt. That's it. And I will show you what you're going to end up with. Okay, you guys, so here's my clay. Excuse the other holiday. I'll deal with that next. So here's my clay. This is what you're going to end up with. And see how it's pretty sticky, but you can ball it. That's what you want, because you want it to be able to stick. Now you're going to have a little bit of glue and water on your hands, and you're going to have it on your paper mache, and it'll smooth out and it'll stick to your paper mache. I do use a paintbrush to apply the glue and water mixture. And then when you get it all on your pumpkin, take that glue and water mixture and go over it again, and then it's really going to end up just as smooth as it possibly could. This is the amount I got out of that toilet paper. So this is enough to do, depending on your thickness of the facial features. You could do about 4 pumpkins out of that. And don't put this in the refrigerator. I keep mine in the garage, and it didn't mold. It just is really hardy. So yeah, just put it in your garage and make sure there's no air in it. And in general, for quite a long time, it should be exactly as you left it. Okay, you guys, so here's a look at the second pumpkin. Well, I did this one first, but he was the second. I wait for that to dry thoroughly. I put it in front of a warm fan, so that works out just fine. It dries pretty quickly. So at this point, this clay is going to be super smooth and a very nice texture right away once you get it all on there. I did seal this with, like, you could use clear spray paint or just some kind of sealant, you know, in the can. And I put that on there just to protect it a little bit from water, and it firms it up, makes it a little bit stronger. Okay, you guys, so this is what I was sealing it with. It is just clear. It's a Rust-Oleum product. See if I get a picture of that. And you can get that at any home store. The air dry clay that I'm covering this with, I'm getting this at Michael's, and it's a little over $12. This is a white color, which I bought by accident, but they do have it in the orange, which was great for me. So this product, I do apply a little bit of water when I'm applying it to the pumpkin. If you try to get it warm in your hands, it will go on smoother and easier. And you can use water or even water and glue. I think I just used water to apply this product here. Okay, so here's both of them clayed. Give you a good look at that. You know, of course, I drew the faces on with black marker. And this one I've taken the balloon out of. This one still has this balloon. It's important that whatever is inside your pumpkin that's supporting your pumpkin, don't take anything out until you're almost finished. You don't want to ever open the opportunity for it to fall in on itself. You know, that would be horrible. So here's the first one with paint. A lot of this I just do freehand. I did have a picture of this that I was copying off the Pinterest. I used a quarter for the outside of the eyeball, and I traced that. And then the inside I just did freehand and painted that. And here's the inside. So when I did pull out the pumpkin, I had the base of that bit of cardboard. And so I paper mache'd over that a couple times and then painted the inside. And then at the very end, I used the Rust-Oleum again and sealed it all up. But this product will be inside the house, so I don't have to worry too awful much about it. So here is a picture of him finished. The inside of this has just a bit of insulation foam in there, and I poked the holes through where I wanted the suckers and then shoved the suckers in there. The rest of it, this Raphael stuff that's sticking out, I just purchased that at Michael's at the end of the season, which was great because this can be a little bit pricey. But at the end of the year, it's usually left over, and you can get it for like $2 or $3. So here they are together. So if you have any questions about these guys, feel free to ask. But once you get the clay on and you smooth it out with the brush, with the glue and water mixture, and then the outside of this at the very end, I just use water in my hands, a brush. I do have the little tools that you get with the clay to try to carve out more expressions or make the holes for the mouth and the eyes clean. And that's it. There's the whole gang. So I think that's it. I think that's all I have to share today. If you have any questions about this, you can certainly ask me. I'm going to be making a couple more this year. I'm going to start working on a cat today. So we'll see how that goes. Let me give you one more look at the pumpkins themselves, and that'll be it. Just on a side note, you guys, this does have a handle, and I used this guy here. It does support it. You're going to have to get your glue gun and bend this up on the inside and use your glue gun. I just did a pre-drill here with a tiny little drill and just poked that right through. So that's it, you guys. That's how you make this into that. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you would like to subscribe, that would be awesome. I have literally over 100 videos of projects that I've done over the years. And I would love to see you make some of my stuff. Have a great day, and I will talk to you later.